AITA for refusing to pay my cat sitter. I, 29F, have an 11-year-old calico named Daisy. A year ago, I moved a few hours further from home for work, which came with the issue of needing to find a new sitter. My fiancée, 34M, and I were lucky to find somebody pretty quickly through a pet sitting app, but she ended up being unavailable during the week of our trip. This came up over dinner at my sister's house, and her daughter/my niece suggested her cousin, BIL's family, Ava, 18F, saying she's been looking for some side jobs to make money before she goes off to college this fall. I contacted Ava and she accepted the job. I invited Ava over a couple days early so she could meet Daisy and get acquainted with the space. The most important detail here is that I emphasized our main rule to not let Daisy out unleashed and unsupervised. I showed Ava the harness and leash I use to take Daisy on walks, explained the risks of letting her out unsupervised, and she seemed to understand. Fiancé and I left on our trip a couple days later thinking all was well. We finally got back yesterday, after a genuinely lovely week, and met Ava as she was finishing up with her last drop-in. During our reunion, I found scratches on Daisy. I asked Ava if she had any idea what happened. At first Ava's story was that she didn't know, and then she admitted it might have happened when they went on a walk. I went to find the harness to see if there was any damage to it, but it was in the exact spot I left it in, along with the leash. I asked Ava point blank if she let Daisy out by herself and she finally admitted yes, that Daisy wouldn't stop hounding her for food and treats and that she was yowling so much during a drop-in when she was having a headache that she put her out for a little while she set up the food and cleaned the litter. She then forgot Daisy outside all night. She said she realized when she dropped back in the next morning for a feeding and a walk and Daisy wasn't waiting just inside the door that she remembered she'd put her out, so she tried shaking a bag of Daisy's favorite cat treats, which worked. She's a greedy little cat. I was furious at the point and asked Ava to leave. She asked what about the money, and I told her she wouldn't be getting paid. She got upset and said it wasn't fair to not pay her for an entire week over one mistake, but eventually left. She has texted me an apology since, but I've also received some texts from my BIL, who is mostly taking her side in the issue and saying I should absolutely pay her, but that he would understand if I docked a day off. I told him I'll be putting my money towards a vet visit, which I have an appointment for tomorrow. AITA if I stand my ground here. Edit to clarify a few things. 1. Ava is not a family member of mine. She is my BL's niece, technically step-niece, as his sister is Ava's stepmother. I do not consider her a niece or cousin of mine. Family is not a factor here for me. I didn't know her at all and admit I should have been more cautious about hiring her. BL said she was a very good responsible kid, and she had done some pet sitting jobs before, so I thought everything would be fine. Won't be making that mistake again. 2. To those suggesting I still pay Ava, but dock the vet bills from her pay, if I do that it will result in her owing me. I do not want to pursue legal action or try to get any money out of Ava. I have told her and BIL this and expressed more than once that the best I will do is compromise and consider us square. I don't pay her, she doesn't pay any of Daisy's vet bills. 3. I know results for certain things won't be available/reliable so soon. I will be doing follow-up appointments for further testing and assessments. Final update. I have been incredibly busy with handling my job. Apparently 3 people were fired in my absence, and caring for Daisy since making my original post, but I've read many of the comments and understand that many people have questions and want an update, so I'm taking my first real free moment since coming back from my vacation to fill you all in on what's been happening. I took Daisy to the vet the day after making my original post due to the scratches I found on her. Like I mentioned in comments, they were 2 to 3 inches in length and had dried blood on them. The vet's opinion was that they were decently deep and likely infected, which was later confirmed, and Daisy was prescribed meds to deal with that. She's much better now and seems to be back to near perfect health, but there will be subsequent visits to determine if she has any other issues, such as FIV, which can't be accurately tested for so soon. My vet was kind enough to give me quote for the future visits I have scheduled, which I presented along with the bill from this visit to Ava and her parents, who ended up getting involved as well, but were much less aggressive than Ava or BIL. The current bill by itself exceeds what we had agreed to pay Ava. Ava tried to push back more, which I ignored, and then her parents reached out to me. The four of us, me, Ava, her mom and her dad, met up, and Ava's parents immediately brought up small claims court and asked that I please not drag them and their daughter through the system over a vet bill. Just to be clear, I never threatened to do so. The only time court came up was when Bail brought it up to me, and I'm assuming Ava as well, and I insisted that I didn't want to make this a legal matter. I told Ava's parents the same, that I was not seeking legal action, and was happy to consider us square. The only other thing I wanted was for Ava to apologize for endangering Daisy. She didn't seem happy, but she said sorry, and that was that. I'm glad my cat is safe and healthy, and I'm glad the drama is over. Safe to say I won't be planning any more trips away until my regular sitter is available again. There are a few other questions I noticed in the comments that I'd like to answer. They will be in a comment I post below. Thank you to everyone for your feedback and your support.